pushed the wrong one, bruh. I pushed the wrong one, shit. Oi, oi, oi. Alright. Cause she with me for the money, now she know. Alright, guys, we're gonna be streaming right now. We're gonna be going through this market real quick. FX and crypto charting session. Oh, yeah, I forgot to change this real quick. My text. We're gonna do some G7 stuff now. You know what I'm saying? I should make the font a little different too, right? Let's do something like this. No way. They're all the same, really. Can I change the color? Change the color. I'll be back. Yeah. Alright, bro. Alright. This shit was so funny, bro. Alright. Is the quality good, bro? Is the quality good? Is it juicy? Let me zoom in real quick. Let's see. Yeah, we're good. Let me stop hearing myself. Brr. Big brr. Alright, let's go through crypto first. Let's do some BTC movement. Let's turn down this background color a little bit. Right around there. Alright. Bro, I would do a face cam, but I just can't right now. I'm not gonna lie. Let's rename this G7 mode. G7 mode. We're in G7 mode right now. Let's change this emoji too. And the emoji I'm gonna use is let's put a star. Where the stars at? Right here, right? Right here. G7 mode. Is this the same one I had? Or am I tripping? Did I have a different one? I don't know. We'll just put Alright, we're in G7 mode right now. Bitcoin, first one. I guess I already went through the breakdown, but yeah, we already went through a breakdown. I'll turn this music down a little bit. Or just turn the volume right here. Right here. So yeah. Alright, so we already went through this breakdown. CRT formed right there. On the again, the monthly time frame, we also had what the daily range, 50% respected. The buy side imbalance, market maker sell model to 50% of the range. Boom. Now we can see we have been respecting daily range there. We had a breaker market structure right here, and then now we're pushing up in April, May. We're going up to continuation again. Seasonally wise, May isn't really the best, but we are forming a weekly CRT here. But that's if we get a candle closure above on the weekly. It's not really too guaranteed yet, but we're just gonna mark it out, see what happens here. See if we do get a CRT. The CRT would be nice on the 3-day. We did have a CRT form, but it's just not really. It's not really moving. You know what I'm saying? It's not really moving as much on the daily. The daily really isn't giving us much of what you would want to see. We have right there, pretty much all that we have. Pretty much there's previous day high, previous day low. We're stuck inside, you know, this daily candles range from Monday, and it was CPI today. So on the 6H, we had a 6-hour sell-side imbalance, which did get inverse with a breaker market structure. So this is kind of key right here. Overlapping PD arrays. What is this right here? Your balanced price range from that low to this high. You can see the market was never ever supposed to ever retrace into 50% of that range right here, and it did. And even when it did, you don't want to see the market trade there. So kind of pretty much unfortunate to see that happen, and we are looking a little bit more bullish. Again, I would have wanted to see the 3-day PD array get hit to then eventually start moving up higher. I would have wanted to see more of a deeper retracement because we're just completely moving up higher here. Yeah, that's pretty much really it, honestly. Like I would have wanted to see yeah, let's do this real quick. All right, let's go back to the 3-day. All right, so on 3-day, look, we had a sweep. Why is it? Let's see, turn this down. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. All right, so we had a sweep. So we had a sweep there, and I would have wanted to see this candle right here, since we opened it right there. I would have wanted to see us drop lower to eventually start to creep up and move higher to then target this high up here, which would have been the target. But we never had that happen. Why? Because we never retraced. We never really did respect that 3-day CRT, which was pretty unfortunate, honestly. Because you want to see the market, you know, move in that type of movement where it's just like we have a short-term high, we sweep it, then we come back down, and we eventually aim to retrace, and then eventually we start doing the same thing. We have a change in the state, and we bounce. You know, something like that is what you want to see from the market. You know, the market isn't always going to be sunshine and rainbows, though. So you got to be patient, take your chances whenever you do get them, and just trade them. 6H also, with the 6H, you would have wanted to see the market. I'm not good at painting, so let's take this off. You would want to see the market retrace into this disrespect and start to push lower to then target those lows. Eventually even targeting these lows right here, or this low, which was nice to see, you know, since we did have that breaker market structure. You had an overlapping PD array, which is pretty common, you know, to see in the market, especially since we're not in a higher time frame PD array. I just did not see this, you know, get disrespected. I didn't, in my personal view, I just didn't really see it getting disrespected. But, you know, since we did break above this high and we had a buy side imbalance, I would have wanted to see it retrace to then eventually target up higher prices. But from a higher time perspective, right now on the weekly, it looks like we are forming that weekly BISI, which is nice to see. I am going to want to see the second one now, this one down here, stay as a breakaway gap, and then form this one and get retraced up into to then target this high up here to complete the market maker buy model there. So ETH has been moving really, really well. It's one of those markets where, like, it's inconsistent though, especially with how much it dropped. I just don't want to buy it, if I'm being real. I don't know if I want to buy it. So that's just one thing really I gotta watch out for ETH, is just look how much we've moved up already, bro. This is bizarre to me. Let's put right there like that. Look how much it's moved up. It's moved up 56%. Last time I did that, it's like around here somewhere. It's like 58%. It just moves really, really well, but it also moves down pretty heavy also. This is what, 37%? This is what, 31%? 35%? 25%. So, like, yeah, it just moves really, really heavy too. So you just want to be patient with those, bro. Especially with ETH, how it moves, bro. I just don't like the way it moves, if I mean real. That's just me personally though. So monthly, we have monthly SIBI, 3 month CRT forming. So this is that 3 month CRT. I gotta take this off today. Yeah, let's take this off real quick. I'm one of those guys where, like, can't have anything on a certain chart or start to crash out. But yeah, 3 month CRT forming there. last time we had that form, you can see it completed it to the tick. So yeah, it really does move. I got a wasp bite or whatever. My shoulder's like really bugging. But you can see that there. We have that there, and it's just one of those coins where like, it looks nice on the higher time frame perspective, but like when you go down to like the weekly, monthly, not too nice because we have 2 fair value gaps. I mean, we can scale up to like the 2 month, right? No, there's no fair value gaps. So on the 1 month, it's only like 2 fair value gaps overlapping, which isn't nice. It doesn't look nice on the monthly at all. Weekly time frame, we had that change in the state, break of market structure. But the monthly SIBI is something that I'm like really concerned about since we have 2 of them. I know this one's gonna get inverse. I just don't know about this one. Are we gonna stay inside of this range? We're gonna continue to break above it, disrespect it, and that just goes to show like the lack of respect it has for fair value gaps, which is kind of bizarre. Would probably use breakers or just order blocks in general. Then we also have on the daily sell side imbalance, monthly SIBI being retraced up into market maker buy model here, pretty much completed, which was to the tick. Honestly, this is kind of like your trade idea. Whenever you have that manipulation form, you change in state, that's kind of where you want to take the trade idea. Even down here, it wouldn't be bad. It just didn't have enough volume to move, and it just like was still also inside of that monthly SIBI. It was getting into it. So yeah, it's just one of those markets where you don't want to trade. There's better markets out there, you know, they look better for sure, but it's still a top dog, so you gotta show it some respect. All right, so we have our monthly sell side objective here, which was met. So yeah, sell side objective was met here on Solana. We also had, I don't recall if we have 3 months CRT, so we do have 3 months CRT form in here, which isn't bad honestly either. So this isn't bad. 3 months CRT form and monthly sell side objective met. Let's change this to a different color right there. So yeah, and then on the monthly, we really don't have much, honestly, if I'm being truly honest. We only have this right here as your main little order block, which, honest opinion, you can probably get disrespected real soon. So it's not really too bad. Weekly time frame, weekly change in state right here. I don't know why I have it as an order block. Change in state. You're changing the state of delivery on the weekly. You have your standard deviation projections right there, and then you also have your daily range, 50% of the range right here. Let's go right here, something like that. You have 50% of the Dylan range, standard deviation targets aligning perfectly to this sell side imbalance right here, which you want to see the market reach up into, which is at 230, 220. Right now, we don't have CRT forming. We're going to look like we have a candle closure above here, which is pretty bullish. So it doesn't look too bad, honestly, on the weekly. But we do have this little SIBI we are retracing up into, so you got to mark out. We got to watch out for that. You got to watch out for this one right here. See how we react. Reaction. A little reaction to it, so over here like that. So yeah, and then on the daily 3-day, actually, let's go to the 3-day. So on the 3-day, we had a sweep, reached into this BISI, which was nice to see. And then on the daily, we had a daily fair value gap. We swept up into that 3-day buy side imbalance, also aligning perfectly here. And we also had CRT form, which was nice. And if we go to the 12H, 12H CRT form, you can see this third candle confirmation, especially with the 3-day PDRA. This is a perfect trade idea. Maybe on the 2H, oh yeah, perfect. Look at this. You had your bullish breaker form, standard deviations, projections right here, targeting what higher prices. What is this, around 10 a.m. I could have took this, bro, honestly, or even at 8 a.m. And then you can see what the market did retrace to eventually target higher prices. Where is this, like a 5% move? Oh my goodness, bro, that's a 5x. That's a 5% move. You can definitely get a 20x off of this though if you put leverage. You gotta put some risk though. So yeah. And doesn't look too bad, honestly, from that perspective. Mm, 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 mm. All right, I gotta turn that phone off, man. So yeah, perfect trade idea here, aligning perfectly with that CRT. 4-hour buy side objective met there. Let's go from a higher time from perspective there. So 3 month CRT is by far one of the most important things you're going to want to focus on here. Main reason why is because if it does form, you see the 280 200 mark being met, and this isn't like what this happens over a consecutive amount of months. It isn't like a couple weeks, it's a couple months. So, and you know, sell side was met, your market maker sell model was completed. You are flipping now. You also had a change in the state. Now we need to form some higher time frame PDA rate, which would have to be this weekly buy side imbalance. Maybe if we're stuck inside between one of these two, I wouldn't be bad. I would have wanted to see the buy side imbalance, you know, get retraced up into, and then targeting the high, you know, the external high that we have lurking around here in this SIBI. If we don't make it inverse yet, and we form two fair value gaps, and we're stuck in between both, and we trade to the BISI, I want to see what the move higher to target the buy side objective inside the SIBI, and then eventually, you know, continue up to the upside and target the standard deviations, which isn't bad, honestly. Monthly time frame, we do have that bearish order block, but you don't know if it's gonna hold, depending, because range high, range low right here. So yeah. Range high, range low, you would have not basically swept. You would have continued to the downside and then eventually continued to the, you know, this is a different story though for a different day. But yeah, let's close this out. So yeah, we have the range high up there, range low. We're gonna mark it out range low. We're gonna take off the sell side there. And yeah, that's basically range high, range low. Now if you go on the daily, you can see, you're like, whoa, what are we doing? Why are we trading from the range high, range low? We're going to go to the range high now. And once we do, you're going to form another range very, very soon. But either way, I think we should have not basically disrespected this, especially if we're going to be bearish. The 50% should have not been disrespected, and we should have continued to the downside. And now that we have done that, this would have to be your new range if we break above the high. And if we do that, that's 3 months CRT being completed, this high up there being completed, you're going to see the continuation all the way up to, like, I don't know, bro. This is scary. I don't want to think that far. Just want to take it day by day. But yeah, XRP right now, we're currently in this monthly CRT. You can see we're disrespecting the equilibrium there. We have the CRT high up there. On the 3 month, we are, I don't know what's up with this. Let me take this off. I just don't like certain charts cluttering certain things. So we had the BISI respected here, and we also have the 3 month CRT there form. Weekly time frame, the month that we already saw the CRT. Weekly time frame, we had an inversion mean threshold right there form. Closure above. Now you want to see the candle closure above here. Continuation to the upside there. Previous candle close. On the 3 day right here, we had a 3 day buy side imbalance form. We also had that break in market structure on the daily. So just mark this out as the 3 day buy side imbalance right here. It's kind of where your 3 day buy side imbalance is, and the market is not retracing. So we also had an inversion form right here. So it's kind of another reason why I probably didn't want to retrace, because we already had the inverse. On the daily, we also have this daily market maker buy model, standard deviation targets, which have not been met yet, which I do see being met soon. Little order block there formed, or your little mitigation block on the daily there. So it doesn't look bad, honestly, but it could be better. And then 12H, 4H, we had a 4 hour This is another thing. We had a 4-hour bearish order block, and you can see what is that now. This is kind of like your inversion order block or your breaker block to push you up higher. I really like that 12H CRT though on Solana, and like how we retrace into the daily PD array. I would not mind taking that, especially hitting that 180 mark, bro. That would have been a beautiful trade idea. I need to watch those markets more and like really look at those lower time frames mixing with it, like the intermediate term time frames. That's the thing too, like once you have a system and you combine everything, that's when everything starts to like click. It starts to click really weird. I've been doing it for so long. It feels like I've been doing it for like a couple years, and I have. And I've gone through like those ups and downs where I would like put my strategies on a piece of paper, put it on my wall, and look at it every single day, take notes, review my notes every single day. And now I feel like I really don't have to do that. I feel like it's the opposite now. Now I just need to put more screen time, watch the markets more. Of course, watch other markets too. You know, trade different markets if I want to, and eventually just put more trades, put more experience under my belt trading, build more capital outside of trading, and then put that into trading to eventually level up the trading. And yeah, that's really it, bro. That's really it. Just live life through trading by making money outside of trading and reinvesting it into trading to then flip it through trading, but also trade more, you know. The more you trade, the better you get. I feel like I've done that learning phase. Now it's really just experience that needs to like be worked upon. Everything else is good, you know. Especially on the Twitter, like I be looking at my Twitter. I be looking at my old Twitter posts and like I be like reminiscing, bro. Not reminiscing, but like I was like, bro, I was so locked in. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Right here. So like something like this. Let's go to post. Right here. So like whenever I was journaling on Twitter through CRT, like watching every single time frame, see like the daily, the 4 hours bullish, and then the 1H sweep, and we're entering there. But before that, it was worse, bro. I swear, I was looking at like every single time frame, the 3 minute, the 15, 12H. Yeah, that 12H CRT. You know, like I was going crazy with it. Like I feel like I was limiting myself with time frames before, and it just wasn't good. It wasn't healthy, honestly, because the markets will always give you what you're looking for if you know how to look for it. You know, like if you know what you're looking for, again, just right here. Brett, trade, continue to study, grow using market maker models plus CRT forward testing. This is beautiful. I was forward testing. CRT, sweep, boom, looking for this right here. Continuation to the downside. We also had a SIBI, and then we also had a 1H CRT form. You want to see the completion of it, and then you can see we're sweeping right there, forming an inversion. And then you can see the market eventually what? Formed a 15-minute CRT, retraced. This is your third candle confirmation. And then what happened after that? We entered up here, off of this order block, sweep, order block form, and then where would your range be? Right here, range high, range low. After, and then you can see the market continued to the downside and never retraced after that, and eventually it continued to the downside and it met the 1 hour CRT low, candle range low. So yeah, that was a beautiful trade idea there. By far one of my favorite trade ideas. This one too wasn't bad. Also, gold 4 hours CRT, that advanced version. And then eventually 30-minute CRT forming, and then eventually we had a 15-minute buy side imbalance, and then what was this, the 3-minute change in the state with the manipulation lags, and then here's your entry off of the 15 right here, you buy, and then boom, it went all the way up. So yeah, it went all the way up, and it was just like buying around here on the where's the 15, so it was buying around here, the 15, it went all the way up, completed the CRT. And it did also completed the 30-minute one, and then the 4H I believe was retraced back up into here. So yeah, so it was not bad at all, you know. NQ longs, this one was decent. I won't lie, could be better. That's for sure. Especially it was just mainly like back then I was really just trading lower time frame wise, not really higher time frame wise. Like I wasn't really combining everything and waiting for the confirmation. I feel like it was more just lower time frame, which isn't bad honestly, but I like personally trading more higher time frame perspectives and like narratives. So yeah, this is really what I'm watching for. I think I'm gonna just keep going for higher time frames and intermediate time frames right now. I'm not really gonna try to continue to like bash out with those lower time frames right now. Like anything below the 1H, I'm not trying to go to. So yeah. And then for XRP, really like the daily's bullish, bro. I gotta fix my monitor, man. I think it's scuffy. All right. It's like tilting, bro. I'm not gonna lie. All right, the daily, we have it there. Buy side imbalance, bullish order block. Really, only main thing I would want to see, honestly, is the weekly form of buy side imbalance. It probably won't happen. If not, then make this right here your breaker block form. Have a candle closure above here. Have your breaker block form. Probably, it would be unrealistic to retrace all the way down here. So maybe form something on the daily. Maybe like a daily buy side imbalance or an inversion, retracing back down and then respecting the weekly breaker block that form. So yeah, I would not be against that for sure. So yeah, completing the market maker. I mean the market maker buy model and the CRT on the monthly. So yeah, let's go to AVAX, bro. AVAX does not look bad. I feel like let's go to Forex. Let's go do some Forex. I've been itching for this, itching for these moments. So yeah, oh yeah, I need to clean this chart up for real. All right, so the 3-month here on Dixie, more range bound, but we're still bullish because of how the market has been moving. Now we're range bound on the monthly. Monthly, we're range bound. We're inside of this range high, range low, range equilibrium. You can see we tapped up into this buy side imbalance, swept the lows, and now we're retracing into this bearish BPR here. On the weekly time frame, we also have a weekly dealing range here. We're in. Let's just move it back, I guess. Something like that. Yeah, just leave it like that. So we have a weekly dealing range right there. We also have this weekly SIBI we're trying to break past, but we really can't. With this big rejection, especially tapping into that daily bearish BPR. I mean, monthly bearish BPR. 3-day, not really forming CRT. Daily, we're not really forming CRT. We're just retracing. And then we have a small volume imbalance there also, but we also have this little mitigation block, which we can retrace up into and bounce off of for now. And then on the 12H, we have a 12-hour buy side imbalance with the volume imbalance. It's 4H. Yeah, it just looks like it wants to retrace back down into this range right here for now. And then eventually after that, that's probably like where you want to be sidelined. Seeing what happens after that. I would want to wait for the daily to give me something, honestly. Give me more confirmation of where we want to go, since we're still stuck inside this previous day high, previous day low. So Euro doesn't look bad, honestly. I've been watching it for a little bit. Monthly again, reaching to that monthly SIBI, sweeping monthly highs. Weekly time frame, we're inside of a weekly BISI, especially after having that continuation up to the upside, completing the market maker buy model. Now we're retracing. You can catch like a little short-term move here. Daily, SIBI got inverse, and now we're just respecting it. Hitting the volume imbalance there. 12H again, the SIBI's there with the volume imbalance. 4H inversion formed. We also have a 4-hour SIBI. It's one of those markets where like it's like this. It's like that basically, like it's just one of those markets where it's like that. Like, do you actually want to trade this? Would you be comfortable trading that where it just goes completely down and then it goes all the way back up without any confirmation? Like it's just one of those markets where I don't know. There's like no sort of entry point. This is not enough for me right here. Sweep, changing the state. That's not enough for me, bro. Especially with having such a big sell off and then forming the SIBI there. That's not enough for me, bro. That's way not enough. GBP USD is not bad also. Daily, the weekly time frame does not look bad. This is a buy side imbalance, sweeping the low also too. So you can see we're forming a little bit of CRT there. Advanced. So yeah, I'm going to change the color to the because like the purple and purple not matching. So yeah, right there. We have CRT forming on the weekly. 12H now. 12H, if we do form like a closure above here, it's going to be your breaker, and I would not be against that. Daily order block right there. We're tapping up into it. Daily SIBI, buy set objective up here. Bearish BPR. Honestly, if we do see, F the 12H. If we do form something here, like we close above here, it's clear. Daily bullish breaker formed, and we're going to continue to the upside and probably break past all those highs up there. So yeah. I would not even be against that, honestly. It's not even bad. GJ, no, I've not looked at GJ in a while. Ooh, no, 3 month doesn't look bad. Right here. So you have 3 months CRT on GJ. But I've not looked at these charts in a while. I'm a complete noob, especially when it comes to Forex. I remember I was trading like USD JPY every other day, bro. Towards like the second quarter or like the third and fourth quarter of 2024, when I was trading Forex and indices, I really was more picky with my trades, and I really did stop trading, which it's because I was trying to like find this strategy I'm using, and I wasn't trying to be as discretionary. I was trying to be more mechanical. Now it's the opposite. I have a system. I like certain trades I take. Usually are the same type of trades I take, but they're usually a little bit different sometimes, and that's kind of why you don't have risk parameters and be a little bit more discretionary. I gotta meditate after this in journal, bro. I want to study my old trades too, though. I want to be charting more. I think I'm gonna be on Twitter more and chart more. That's one thing I'm gonna do. Probably gonna start doing that. The Discord too, though, when I'm on my laptop or my desktop. But mainly, if I'm on my phone, I'll probably use Twitter. So make sure you follow. Let's go on D&D. I gotta go on D&D, bro. I'm sorry. I gotta go on D&D, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I have to. I get too distracted. Way too distracted, bro. Alright. So we got the 3 month here. 3 months CRT forming. Let's put some other music on too, bro. Turn it down now. Alright, so we have the 3 months CRT forming. We have the... this does not look bad also with the weekly, changing the state right here. Hear me calling. We have a weekly change in the state of delivery forming. I've not even looked at the monthly though, so one thing I'm gonna do real quick is go up to the monthly time frame. What do we have is our monthly objective up here. We also have a monthly SIBI we have been trading in since like the past year, which is irrelevant since we're inside of a range right now. We broke out of the range, now we're aiming for the range high. And then on the weekly, we have the weekly market maker buy model with the change in the state. And then what is this right here? Your sweepy, sweep. Where in the... Did you think you were going? Put in your clothes like wine. No, phone it. Glass full, you're about champagne, crazy, sipping, beautiful. This is what I look for, honestly. Which side? Who messed this up? Oh, right here. Like that. This is basically what I look for whenever I'm trading. Is I look for a CRT to form, a change in the state to form with standard deviation projections, and then I look for a intermediate term time frame, like PDRA, like an inversion fair value gap. Usually it's the opposite sometimes though, because if we have CRT form and we have a fair value gap that's getting inverse, and we already had that change in the state and we're just retracing. So this is kind of weird. So let me explain it. So this is like, pretend this is your CRT. We're sweep. We have an inversion fair value up there. We break above it. We retrace. Then that's this is all I'm looking for here. So this is your CRT there. Boom. And then this is your inversion. Boom. And then this right here is your breaker block. This is all I'm looking for right here. Is this? I look for this. Look for this right here. Look for this right here. This little move right here to trade this up here. That's all I look for. Because what, we're bullish. So we sweep, boom, retrace this right here, and then after that I target what, the projections, and I try to aim for all that right there. And that's basically really it. As simple as that. As simple as that. You look for this again in a macro perspective right here, right there. Look for it right here again. That's all you do. I messed that up though. So yeah, and then we have a weekly change in state, weekly inversion. All right, let's do that right there. 3 days. See if the 3 day has anything. 3 day does not have anything. 3 day did form the inversion no before. So this again, why you're watching the market. 3 day formed, retrace, and then eventually moved up higher. Add CRT, boom, boom. And if we go to the daily, I bet Bissy got disrespected. CRT formed, retrace. But then you probably formed some other form of CRT in here. Let's look. Let's gotta dive deep. No, you didn't, but you had a 6H change in the state right there. 12H. I would have preferred the daily CRT. Maybe the 3 day one was good, but it's not the best, honestly. The 4H did classify it right here. Boom, break. And then we have that market maker buy model. It wasn't bad. It's just really sloppy with how the daily was in the 3 day form. I don't like that. I would have preferred more clean price action with the wicks instead of big bodies, you know, and just more manipulation. That's really it, though. So yeah, this is right here, your manipulation sweep, break above, boom. You can see that's your change in state, sweep below, start to move up higher. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was not bad at all. This is all predictable. Again, this is right here. It's all predictable. I promise you. This is all predictable, chat. This is all predictable right here. Promise you, all predictable. If you have the sauce, if you have the enigma, it's predictable. Can you do XAUD? Alright, I got you, bro. I was doing gold earlier, but I'm not gonna lie. I don't know when it was during early in the stream. So yeah, gold, bro. We're just straight bullish to the upside. Let's go to the monthly time frame. We're stuck inside what the previous day high, previous day low. I mean, previous month high, previous month low. Right there. We're not really moving on the monthly. On the weekly though, this is kind of your weekly range. If I'm being truly honest. I think I have it on the daily though. I'm not too sure. So I don't. All right. So on the weekly time frame, this is your range right here. I think I did clean this chart. So on the weekly time frame, this is your dealing range right here. You want to see this weekly buy center balance get retraced up into. You also have weekly CRT forming since you swept the high, closed back below, and now you're aiming for the market to aim to the downside here. I'm thinking about changing this color. I don't like the purple, bro. I won't lie to you. I used to have it black, but I changed to purple. This is how many of it would overlap, and I didn't like that. So, and then yeah, I just want to see the weekly buy side balance get retraced up into. Go to the 3-day. You don't have 3-day CRT, which if it did form, you would have seen it, and you would have probably traded it to the low, which didn't happen. And then we also have the daily PDA rates that are just here, clogging up my chart. All right, and then daily time frame here. We have a daily buy center balance, which did get inversed, and now you're just waiting to see the market retrace up into it to then target these lows right here, which would have to be your external objective. So yeah, if we go to the 12H, probably have 12H CRT. So yeah, you do have 12H CRT. You want to measure the 50%. Let's go right here. So yeah, like that. You want to see the 50% get met. Another thing too, you could probably see this right here, 12-hour inversion. So that wouldn't be bad also. But this is kind of where your breaking market structure forms. This is kind of an overlapping PD array right there. Just marking it out. And then 6H, not really nothing we can see form. Kind of bullish CRT forming. But you do want to see that upper quadrant. Yeah, you want to see this upper quadrant right here get more tapped up into than anything right now. And if we go to like the 1H, I want to find the range. I don't like how this is in the way, right? Yeah. So it's 2H. So this would have to be your range right here, range high, range low. I'm going to take this off though. I would want to see the market retrace up into that side of the range to then eventually move lower. This is kind of what I'm watching for. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. Maybe sweeping this high too. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm watching for. The market retrace, and then start to move lower, targeting these lows right here. That would not be bad at all, honestly. So yeah, that's pretty much really it. So yeah, I might end stream here. I'm not even gonna lie. I have to fix my watch list over here though. That's one thing I need to do is clean it up. Where am I going? All for one. It's like my guy, all for one. keep all these, I guess. We already did GJ. Let's do USD JPY. It's probably gonna be the last one before I go. So yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much really it. Let's start from the 3 month. Every time frame is by far important. No single time frame is more important than the other. Don't ever forget that, alright? Because a lot of people say, oh, you don't need these. Every time frame is important. Every time frame. Price is fractal no matter what. You see everything will align perfectly if you simply use everything to your advantage. Market moves from price point to price point from a specific reason. It could be news events, it could be certain drivers, factors, economic, but at the end of the day, you're able to predict it too. So don't ever doubt yourself. All right, monthly time frame, 3 months CRT forming right there, advanced, of course. Let me take this off, I forgot. And then on the monthly time frame, we also have basically relative good lows down there, which doesn't look bad, honestly. If we do retrace into that PDRA to then eventually move down lower, I wouldn't be against that. Completing the market maker stall model. But again, we're aiming for this right now. We're just aiming for this move higher. We could care less about aiming for the move down and trying to catch the top, you know, or, yeah, the ultimate top to the bottom. We're just aiming for that move up to the bread and butter. So external to internal. And we also have another fair value up here, which I'm not really too worried about, if I'm being truly honest, because it's not 50% of the range. 50% of the range is by far more important. So anything inside of this premium side, then of course that's kind of where I'm backing off. But even if we do retrace, I'm gonna look for that move lower. We can also catch the move higher through the weekly time frame. And then on the weekly, we also have a weekly bearish order block right here, because I want to love you. Pretty much take a long time. TLC. So we have the weekly objective right there, and then we can mark this out real quick. So with the weekly right there, it doesn't look bad at all. Then we go to the 3-day. 3-day does not look bad. On the daily, all right, so the daily we are forming a buy side imbalance while also tapping up into the sell side imbalance on the weekly, and then of course having that bearish order block on the weekly time frame. So again, we're still on the monthly time frame. We're not really inside of a premium, so we have to just wait and see, is the daily buy side imbalance going to get respected, or is it going to get inverse off of the rejection of the weekly sell side imbalance to then target, you know, like daily sell side objectives, or just complete the daily sell side, or complete the daily market maker sell model here, and then disrespect the 3 month CRT, which isn't, you know, again, things I look for with CRT is going to be a different story. That's a different story of how you classify an advanced CRT, more high probability, but yeah. And then on the 12H, let's go to 12H, we have a 12-hour buy side imbalance. Again, majority of Forex has a 12H PDRA or fair value gap formed. Euro, Dixie, GBP, this one right here, GJ. So yeah, and you're able to trade fractally inside of that PDRA, just because again, price is fractal, but different story. Again, different story. Let's go to the 6H right there, to the 4H, and yeah. And 4H again, we're looking really, it's looking like this again. It's looking like this, pretty clean, pretty clear. Just no, take it back. So you're just looking for this real quick. Looking for the move up, for the move down. If we're gonna be bearish, but of course you got to see that get an inverse. Range get disrespected, push lower to the downside, something like this. Don't want to love you, something like that. And this is gonna have to play a key factor, something like that. So yeah, 1H again, just really retracing back into that 12H PDRA, especially with the volume imbalance. I don't like how it opened up, if I'm being truly honest. I would want to see the 4H one get respected more. Let's mark it out, because Yeah. 4-hour busy, retracing back down, boom, 50%. Then you're going to see a change in the state. Maybe a 6-hour CRT, a 12-hour CRT, more high probability. And then you scale down to the 4H and look for 4H, 1H, change in the state, 15-minute manipulation, fair value gap retracement, and then you take the trade. So yeah, that's pretty much really it. I'm going to end this stream here. But yeah, let's go through this one more time. 3-month CRT forming. We're bullish. Why? Because the market is just moving up higher. Simply. And then monthly time frame, looking for this right here. We're not really worried about this. Why? Because again, the 50%, this is your new range. This is your old range right here. You retraced, you disrespected it. Cool. Now you're looking for what this order block. If you were going to disrespect this, you would have been disrespecting it. And then on the weekly time frame, you have a weekly bearish order block. And then you also have your weekly buy set objective right there. You would have not reached that far if you didn't want to reach into it, since you were already in the premium. Now you have a premium array. You want to see the market move lower. Does it continue to the downside? Now on the daily time frame, you have a daily buy set imbalance forming in the next 3 seconds. Mark it out. See, is the market going to respect it or is it going to disrespect it? That's simple as that. Simple as that, chat. And that's pretty much really it. If the daily is not clear, you don't go lower. If you do go lower, then you look for just short-term moves. If you're looking for higher time frame moves, stick to the daily, weekly, and monthly. And that's it. So yeah.